guys, welcome to a new video here in JS Education. My name is Carlos Santana and this is the video number 17 for the course developing a headless CMS with TypeScript and GraphQL. So let's start. So the first thing we need to do, as always, is to update our packages using ncu-u, and remember that you should copy the version that you are seeing on my terminal to avoid any problems, and then you need to install them. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is going to backend, and then we are going to resolvers model TS. So in this part, we need to, after get model, after on the mutation, after create model, we need to add a new mutation called delete model. So in here we put comma, and this is the method for the delete model. Basically, it's an asynchronous function that is going to receive the ID of the model that we want to remove. And basically we do this model to remove, await models, that model find by primary key. We pass the ID. If we found the model to remove, then basically execute model to remove that destroy, where the ID is the ID that we are passing, and we return the model that we just remove. So that's the way we do that. And then we need to go to types model, and here you need to declare the new mutation after create model, like this, delete model. Later we need to go to front end, and then source app dashboard components models, and we are going to create a new model called delete model tsx, and let me copy that code here. So basically here we need to use the mutation delete model mutation that we are going to, that we just created on the backend, but we need to define that on the front end as well. This is like the other models that we have created so far, but this one is for delete. So we need to create our mutation method, delete model mutation, using use mutation. The handle submit is going to retrieve data from options. So the good thing of the models is that we can have options, which is basically anything. And we normally have a prop inside or a variable inside that is for data. And in here, I'm going to receive the ID, data.id, of the model that we want to remove. So once we have the ID, we can pass the variables to delete model mutation. And then if delete is true, like basically if we get something returned from the mutation, that means it's deleted. We redirect to dashboard / and then we pass the app ID from getting that from the delete model / master. And basically our model is gonna be just a message, are you sure you want to delete this model? This cannot be reverted. And we have two buttons. This link button from fogg-ui can pass a color and then bold if we want like the font to be bold, and then one on click. And then this is for the console. The other one is for delete model, like to confirm. So this one is going to have an on click with handle submit. The color is going to be red, and I can add like a background color as well. So you will see that button a little bit later. So that's it for the for our delete model. Okay, now we need to go to the schema, and then we are going to add a new file called schema.scss. I'm going to remove this folder fields. We don't need it right now. And then these are the styles for the schema, basically. Let me show you. Okay, so now in our schema index, we need to do some changes. So the first one is we need to add use state here, and then we are going to import or delete model like this. Also, we need to import the styles that we just create. Then inside our schema, we are going to have some states and then some methods to handle the delete part. So this is open and is open delete. Basically, this is open is going to work for open a menu that we're going to add, and the is open delete is to handle the delete model. The handle delete is basically to with this set model data, we are going to set the ID of the model that we want to remove. And then basically here after, so for now we just get the get model, right? And we just console it here. But now we are going to validate that we actually get the data. So if get model, if we don't get model, then we need to return an empty div. And then inside of the main layout, give me one sec. Okay, so I'm going to replace all of this for this code. So delete model, and then here on options we are passing the data with model data, which includes the ID of the model that we want to remove. Then okay, those link button. Okay, this link button and menu needs to be imported from fogg-ui. Let me add those at the beginning. Okay, so basically here in our main layout, we are putting our delete model, and then in the main layout we have the div schema model. We are going to render the model of, the name of the model, the name of the identifier with a like hash character here, and then we are going to have a link button with 3 bullet points. That basically are going to handle a menu to display the option of delete. Later we'll have also a edit option, but for now it's going to be just delete, which is this menu is open. We control that part here. Items for now is going to have only the option delete model with the icon trash, and the on click is going to execute handle delete, passing the get model ID. So that's it for this component. Now we need to define the GraphQL mutation inside models. It's going to be named delete model.mutation.ts. Very simple one. Just mutation delete model. We are passing the ID, and we are returning the ID, model name, and the app ID of the removed model. Then we should go to pages, dashboard, app ID, module name, section, model. Do you remember that the last video we have some problems, right? We have some errors. So I figured out what was the issue. So the first thing we need to do is basically the problem is because in here we are not respecting the React rules for execute hooks. So basically this hook or any hook cannot be executed inside on like condition or inside like any loop or any other part. Needs to be on the top level. So that's what's wrong. But the problem with this is that we don't want to execute this query all the time, because right now we have only the section model, but later we are going to have more sections. So what I did here basically is the use query hook from Apollo. It has a second parameter called skip, which basically is going to receive a Boolean value to see if we want to skip that query or not. So in this case, we are going to say if section is different that model, then skip this query. Basically, do not do anything. So that do the trick. And then here we do, instead of having the data like this before, we are going to have here data, and then we can rename that to get model query data. I like to do that, like put the name of the query or the mutation and then add data here. And basically, if we don't have the data, basically we are going to render an empty div. And then we need to change data model for this. I don't know why I have this else here, but I don't need it. We just need to return the page not found directly, like this. Okay, perfect. So that's it. I mean, I have one more change, but I want to show you first some stuffs. So let's run the application. And then if we open our dashboard, okay, we have an error here, get apps. Okay, let me check dashboard slash. Okay, let me check this file really quick. So this is the cool part of the new version of Next. Like the error gives you a direct link, and when you click, it's opening directly to your editor here. So let me do a console here of data get apps. Oh, okay, got it. So this is not a problem. The actual issue that I'm seeing right now is on the backend. So it's saying delete model define, but not in a schema. Okay, let me find out that part. Okay, so we have that, and then in the model we have delete model, which is weird. Okay, let me restart the backend. And then, okay, so let's go to backend here really quick, model. So, oh, I see. So the problem is I put this function outside the mutation, right? So that's a problem here. So let me cut this part. It's confusing because this method is returning directly, so it doesn't have like the braces. So, okay, so that should fix the problem. Cool. Okay, so let's refresh. Okay, now we have our my apps here. Perfect. So if we see here the console, and then basically we create a new model, right? Like post model. Okay, so I'm not sure why I'm getting these warnings, like conflicting orders between some styles. So what I did to fix that problem is installing a new package. So we need to do npm install -d, and it's called webpack-filter-warnings-plugin. So we install that part, and then you have to go to frontend next config, and we need to import filter warnings plugin like this. And basically we need to add in our webpack configuration, after the alias, we need to add the plugins part. So we do config.plugins.push, and we push these filter warnings. And basically we are going to exclude the mini CSS struct plugin and the text that start with conflict in order in between. So that's the way I remove it. So, I mean, it's not like a real issue here, but it's kind of annoying to see all these warnings all the time. So for now, we are going to remove them. So if we refresh, we are not going to see them anymore. And now, if you see, now I'm on the model post. I have the name of the model here, the identifier, and then 3 dots for the menu. So this is a menu that says delete model. If we click here, this is gonna be our model, delete model, right? And then we're going to say, are you sure you want to delete your model or the model? This cannot be reverted. We have cancel and delete model. This is the background color I told you before, the red one. By default is gray. So if you click cancel here, basically it's going to cancel the operation. But then if you click delete model, it's going to redirect you to master. And then basically you don't have any model anymore. So basically you can create it out again, post, and then we can create a new one, probably topic or whatever. And basically here you can, I mean, you will have your 2 models here, but you can remove this one. I have some CSS problems when you open the sidebar, but I'm going to fix that later. But basically, in here, when you remove this model and you refresh your models, you only have posts now. So that's it for this video. I think was short, so that's good. So what do you think? Do you like it? Remember that if you have any question, please join to our Slack community. The link is on the description. Also, if you like our videos, please help me to share those videos with your friends, and also subscribe to this new channel. I mean, right now we are like 31 people in the channel, but at least I want to be 100. So if that's possible, please help me with that. So that's it. Thank you so much for your time, and see you in the next video. Bye.